we probably won't be replaced by AI, but
Mhm.
we'll have to be good at using it because yeah, that's the thing that will, we could lose our jobs mainly because we maybe don't know how to use these nice tools. We are still very important as writers, and we're still the ones that have knowledge to create good documentation, but we have to be ready to use these tools that will help us to make our life easier.
Welcome to the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast, where Gauri Ramkumar of Document 360 finds the best SaaS self-service knowledge bases in the world and then interviews their creators. Let's get started with today's episode.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast. Today, we have our guest as Natalia Kloda, technical writer, SAP. Welcome, Natalia. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you. What about you?
Great. I'm really doing well. I would like to wish your 5th anniversary at SAP. Congratulations for that big milestone. And how has it been? And how did you choose this technical writing as your career, Natalia? Help us a little bit more.
I think it's quite interesting. So I majored in interpreting, translation and interpreting. So I majored in English and German, translation and interpreting. And for quite a long time, I thought I would become a translator and interpreter. And I think I was actually quite good at it, and I really enjoyed it. But like the job prospects were not that good, and there was something really attractive about being working in IT, for a software company. So I started looking for opportunities, and I have no idea how, but I heard that this job of a technical writer exists, and I enrolled for a postgraduate course in front-end development, and I worked for a company where we used this SAP ERP system, now known also as SAP S/4HANA, and I discovered that there is SAP has an office in the city where I lived. So, and I started looking at the job positions that were open there, and I discovered that they were looking for a tech writer. So I decided to send my resume to SAP, and I got the job. So yeah, and definitely this interest in software development that I sort of showed at that time, so enrolled for this postgraduate course, helped me to get that job.
Brilliant. What a great story to hear too,
Yeah,
Natalia.
it was everything was just so quick. It's just a few weeks, and I think it could be quite difficult to land your first job in anything, especially I don't have a technical background. I majored in um, languages, so yeah, I have to say I was quite proud of myself at that
Course,
point.
of course. And here you go, 5th year anniversary
Yep.
at SAP. Great. And now, as you said, you did not have any prior experience. So, for someone at your position, like with no prior experience, what steps would you recommend to get started in technical writing?
Maybe to do anything, maybe to start some course and create start working on some simple projects that you could add to your GitHub account, and add a link to this GitHub account to your resume. So I was quite lucky to have a really supportive manager, like the manager who hired me. He's sort of, I think he sensed that I could have some potential. That I was quite really keen on becoming a good technical writer. So I think it's just a question of just find this, like, you can take small steps and they will get you there. It's just try with anything.
Very true. Take everything as an opportunity and give it your best shot.
Yeah, just show that you're interested in this field and that you're just trying to do anything to start your career as a writer.
Nice. Now somebody has decided to start their career as a technical writer, but what necessary skills should they have to succeed as a technical
Mhm.
writer?
I think they have to be very determined to understand the product, and I think it's very important to ask as many questions as possible to get a good grasp of what you're writing about. Yes, just and being very patient, because so I'm working with a pretty like technical team. What my team is working on is pretty is a core part of the product, and I sometimes learn that even people outside of my team don't understand the product as well as my team. So, and just a question being determined, being patient, asking as many questions as you could, and maybe not feeling discouraged when things get a bit difficult or some team members are not as willing to work with you as you'd like them to.
Nice. Now, I strongly believe that you can bring the potential of somebody even more when you have the right tools and processes in place. Now, on that note, Natalia, how can technical writers leverage a CMS or a content management tool or even a knowledge management tool for better documentation projects?
Um, it's quite a difficult question because at SAP we work with 𝐭𝐚𝐤𝐤𝐸, and so we don't have that much freedom when it comes to uh, choosing a content management tool. But yeah, so for example, in 𝐭𝐴𝐶Soft, we use this topic structure, and there are quite a lot of rules that I like. So, for example, we are told that one idea is supposed to be translated into one topic, and I think it's a good thing because you learn how to be concise and you learn how to structure the knowledge that you want to pour into your content. So yeah, just it's nice to know the rules and understand why they've been implemented.
Right. So you need to understand the purpose of those rules in order
Hmm.
to
Yes.
best documentation.
Yeah, because I think when you understand them, things get easier and you can see that your content is well structured and clear and concise. So just maybe it's nice to sometimes question them
Mm-hmm.
and maybe try to see if things can be readjusted or improved. But yeah, it's nice to understand why things are done the way they are.
True. While I was just preparing for this interview, I also went through your LinkedIn profile,
Mhm.
and you have stated in one of the descriptions that you work as a part of agile team
Mhm.
and to gain in-depth understanding of the product and documentation requirements, right? So, what are the best practices that can be used by the technical writing team for collaborating better with developers and SMEs? Because as you rightly said, you've got to understand the product, the why the product is built in certain ways to bring the best value to the customer. So in that sense, what are the best practices that the technical writing team can use?
Yeah, I think it's nice to show your team that you're part of the team and that documentation is also part of a product. And sometimes companies are legally bound to provide documentation. So I like to get involved as early as possible. So when my team is working on a POC and they are thinking about implementing a new feature, a new improvement, I like to get my hands on the pages that we use. These internal wiki pages. So I like to read them as early as possible, and I always tell them that I need to get quite a lot of information, and like they need to be able to provide me with them. So documentation is part of the product. So okay, you're ready with your implementation part, but you have to help me with the documentation. And I'm just trying to be very vocal, and if I don't get something and I don't get a piece of information that I need, I come to our retrospective meetings and say, I'm sorry, this went wrong. We have to improve this. So it's just a question of showing my team that are like, I'm keen on finishing my task, and they have to help me, and documentation is important, and we can't forget about it. We have to provide it with the release where our new features are released.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the same topic, we spoke about some of the tools, right? But what are some of the emerging trends in the technical writing tools? Have you seen any big shifts from where you started to where we are now?
Yes. So at SAP, we've started to use a lot of AI solutions. So and now a lot of these solutions are part of the tools that we use as writers. So, for example, we have quite a lot of tools that we can use for prompting. We have tools that help us to check if our content is good enough. So we can we have this tool where we can paste our content, our piece of text, and the tool will tell us if this text is grammatically correct, if maybe there's a bit too much jargon or a bit too much, maybe the content should be improved. Yeah, and we have this. So, for example, in 𝐭𝐚𝐤𝐞𝐚𝐲𝐬, we have this element called short description, which is this like a 1-2 paragraph long introduction to a document, and we have this tool that allows us to create this short description using a large language model. So yeah, it's just we're quite at SAP we really try to be good at using AI, and we are like a lot of materials are provided to us as writers, and we are encouraged to sort of educate ourselves on what's coming. And we probably won't be replaced by AI, but we'll have to be good at using it, because yeah, that's the thing that will we could lose our jobs mainly because we maybe don't know how to use these nice tools.
Yeah, embrace the change.
Yes, yeah.
Welcome to change and make it work for you.
Yeah, and like we very often discuss things that are still not good when it comes to AI, and like we are still very important as writers, and we're still the ones that have knowledge to create good documentation, but we have to be ready to use these tools that will help us to make our life easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Now, just moving on to the rapid fire round, but the tools, we spoke about the tools, but apart from the tools, are there any documentation related resource that you have recently read or watched that you can share?
Well, there's this one thing. There's this CS50 course, which is this it's a computer science course that is published by the Harvard University, and it's just this great example of education being made available to, I don't want to say the masses, but to everyone. So it's this great computer science course that you usually get recommended to take part in when you start learning, when you want to start a job in IT.
Okay, nice. And what is that one word that comes to your mind when I say documentation?
I would say content. I'm not original here.
Okay. My last question of the day to you is, what is that one piece of documentation related advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
Don't give up. One day you'll understand the product really well, and you'll actually be able to teach others and help others with their issues that they have. And yeah, just be patient and just try to take on the feedback that you get and just move on. Don't worry. Don't take things personally. Just try to work on your skills and yeah, try to be as good as possible with the tools and the knowledge that you have.
Yeah, very well said, Natalia. Just as you were talking in the beginning of the call, be open to feedback and be patient and try asking more questions and yeah, just take everything as an opportunity, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super. So, is there anything else you would like to add to our audiences today, Natalia?
No, maybe as I think we've already talked about this, just don't give up. Try to use any all the opportunities that come up to you, and yeah, if you are very determined to become a technical writer, you will become one. Just a question of time.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for sharing the insights and helping our audiences to get inspired to start this journey. And I wish you all the very best for all your future projects. And let's stay in touch and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast. Please head to iTunes, rate, and provide honest feedback on the podcast. See you next week.